Hello, I'm Alan Rosenthal, I'm the founder of Stews. You're going to see me do some cooking today for my friends. Firstly, I'm going to cook a cuttlefish stew in red wine, bay leaves, some cinnamon sticks and cloves. And I'm also going to use the ink from the cuttlefish, which is going to give it a really dark, exciting colour. Then I'm going to go on to cook a take on spaghetti vongole, but using razor clams, a few tomatoes, some garlic and white wine. And it'll taste really good and I hope you like it. Okay, so I've got my pieces of cuttlefish here. My fishmonger, my local fishmonger in Green Lanes filleted it for me. So this is the body part, which has got quite a rough feeling to the outside of it. And then these are the tentacles. Now I'm actually a recent convert to cuttlefish, and I used to cook squid a lot, but one time when I was in my fishmonger, this lovely Greek lady was next to me and she was buying one of these, and I asked her, what was she going to do with it, and she was saying she was going to slow cook it with some wine and bay leaves and thyme and cloves and various other ingredients, and I quizzed her a bit more, and in fact this is pretty much her recipe. So I never actually got her name, which is a bit of a shame, so I don't know her name, but thank you to Mrs. Greek Lady, wherever you are. So when it comes to cutting up your cuttlefish, you want large pieces because we're going to cook it for about an hour and a half, which will make the cuttlefish go really nice and tender. It's actually really quite thick and cartilaginous. You can feel these quite hard, almost plastic-like parts to it. So you want to just cut it into 1-inch thick strips. Doesn't matter if they're uneven. Just like that. And then on the tentacles side, again, just cut them into some large strips, separate the tentacles, and if you get any of these sort of larger, really hard bits at the end, then just cut them off and discard them because they will never actually get tender. The interesting thing with cuttlefish is just how beautiful it is. You've got all these amazing sort of mottled marks on the tentacles, and yeah, it's just beautiful really. They use these to change colour and scare off all their predators and get away quickly. So I'm just going to put the cuttlefish in my bowl and we'll get on to the next stage. Lying in your attic, I can feel it static. The storm has broken, heaven's open, so electrifying. Oh, I'm nearly flying, lost my heart between the sheets of lightning. So we've got our cuttlefish all ready to go in the stew. I'm just going to go and cook up some onions and garlic now, and then the cuttlefish can go in and then we're ready. Okay, I'm just sweating off the onions here with some bay leaves, cinnamon sticks and cloves and black peppercorns, which will give it a really good aromatic flavour. So you want the heat not too high, you're just wanting to get the onions nice and soft and release the flavours from the spices and herbs. So we'll just turn the heat down and just let that do its thing. That will probably take about 5 minutes, and then we'll chuck in our cuttlefish, and then the wine goes in after that. So once the onions have softened, I'm going to put in the cuttlefish, cook that for a few minutes until it goes opaque, then add the wine, some vinegar, and put the lid on and let it cook for about an hour. So the onions will be cooking for about 15 minutes now, and it's ready for the cuttlefish. So in it goes, just throw it all in, give it a stir, and you want to keep it stirring fairly regularly, just until they all start to go opaque, all the pieces. So we'll just let that sit for a couple of minutes, turn the heat up a bit. Better to be breathing fire than to have your... Right, so the pieces of cuttlefish are now nice and opaque. In here I've got some red wine and vinegar, so that just goes in. The vinegar helps get rid of any slightly fishiness from the cuttlefish. And I'm also going to add some cuttlefish ink, which is in this little bag. And the reason the fishmonger put it in this bag is because if it gets out, it's just going to go everywhere. It's really oily, black, and it stains. So you just want to make a little hole in the bag with a knife, and then
Is it expensive?
no, it's just part of the cuttlefish.
And can you add that to other recipes as well to give it? Is it standard to add that to any recipe
Yeah,
to make
you can
it?
make a risotto with the ink.
Does it taste of anything?
It adds a slightly fishy flavour to it. That's why you don't want to add too much. It's more about the colour than the flavour. So you can see it's given you have got a really dark colour going on in there. And that mellows a little bit as the stew cooks. And the cuttlefish will let out some of its juices, which will add to the liquid, the braising liquid. So we'll cover that and just leave it for about an hour to an hour and a half until the pieces are really tender. And it's as simple as that. We'll add a little bit of lemon juice at the end, but that's all you need to do. It's really simple. This is one of Andy's pots, which he says was meant to go this shape, but actually I don't think it was. But it's lovely anyway. It makes a salt. It'll be great glaze, and there's some salt in there, so we'll put it in.
How much are you putting in?
Just a little handful. You can always add, but you can never take away. So be careful with the amount of salt that you add. That'll probably do for now. I'll just give that a stir. So you can see it's got much more liquidy from the juices that are coming into the cuttlefish. Now I'm just going to turn the heat completely down, cover it with a lid, and just let it cook really slowly for an hour and a half. And you want to keep it covered just so that all the liquid doesn't evaporate. Okay, so the cuttlefish has been cooking for about 1.5 hours. It's really soft. The sauce is kind of thickened and reduced. I'm just going to add a little lemon. Give that a stir. And then it's ready. I'll just serve it with a bulgur wheat, which I've mixed some mint and parsley into. Serve this on top, and there we go. Okay, so I had some cooked bulgur wheat in the bowl, chucked in some freshly chopped mint and parsley, a little bit of salt and black pepper, and that's all we need. This is the finished cuttlefish stew. It's been cooking for about an hour and a half. The cuttlefish itself, you can see here, I'll just put it, but it's really, really tender. So that's cooked, the sauce is thickened, and we'll serve the cuttlefish with the bulgur wheat.
It's not like squid, because squid's...
Well, if you slow cook it, just give it a little bit more lemon juice.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, I'm not as artistic.
That is so good.